Brake judder, it's one of those things that you might not notice at first, but when it sets in, it can turn a smooth drive into a shaky, nerve-wracking experience. In today's video, we're diving deep into those causes of brake judder and more importantly, how you can actually fix it yourselves. By the end of this video, you'll understand 6 major causes of brake judder, how to diagnose those individual causes and what steps you can take to resolve the issue and get you back on the road in no time. First of all, what is brake judder? Well, let's get to the basics. Brake judder is a vibration or a wobble that happens when you apply the brakes. It might show up as a pulsing sensation in the brake pedal, it might show up as a vibration through the steering wheel, or it might even show up as a shake that you actually feel throughout the entire vehicle. Usually it's just a shaking steering wheel if you're lucky. It's a potential safety hazard, making it harder to control your car, especially with very severe brake judder during extreme braking. The symptoms vary depending on the cause. Something is basically interrupting the smooth operation of your braking system. So what's behind it? Cause number 1, worn bushes and worn ball joints. Let's start with the suspension system. Often overlooked in these type of discussions about brake judder, especially with our customers. Worn out bushes and ball joints are prime culprits, because when these components are loose or deteriorating, they allow excessive movement in the suspension system. That movement translates into instability, especially when you're braking. You'll feel it much more at high speeds and can create that characteristic wobbling or juddering sensation that you're experiencing. To fix? Check and replace all the worn suspension components. Ignoring them doesn't really worsen the brake judder. It also affects your handling. Basically, the brake judder might stay the same, but the handling and the tyre wear, it's going to go like out the window if you just leave it. Plus, it's a safety issue. It could fall off, and ball joints too. So check those. Cause number 2, wheel bearing movement, pulsing the ABS system. We have a sneaky one here. Worn wheel bearings can actually allow the wheel hub to move ever so slightly like this, and that movement affects the air gap in between the ABS sensor and the reluctor ring. The result? The ABS system thinks that there's a skid or loss of traction, causing it to pulse the brake pedal unnecessarily. This is a more technical cause, but it's actually surprisingly common. It's not really uncommon. I've done a lot of those the last couple of months. To confirm that issue, inspect the wheel bearing for play. You'll feel movement when you rock the wheel. Side to side, up and down, side to side. If it's failing, a replacement bearing will eliminate the issue and it will restore the stability. You might have to put a sensor on as well. Crucially, it'll stop the air gap from closing and should stop your brake pedal pulsating when you brake. Cause number 3, sticking brakes and overheating brakes. Sticking brakes are another major culprit and they're often easy to spot if you know what to look for. When a caliper doesn't release properly, the pads remain in contact with the disc, generating excessive heat. This heat can warp the discs, create uneven wear and lead to brake judder because the disc now doesn't run true anymore and it's constantly hitting the caliper, the pads. How do you check that it's overheating safely? Don't touch it unless you fancy a trip to the Burns unit. They do get hot when they stick. A fantastic tool is one of these, a non-contact infrared thermometer. These gadgets are really handy and they're not expensive. They used to be, now they're very affordable these days. You don't need to spend a fortune. Simply point it at the surface of the brake disc, measure the temperature both sides. If you can sort of feel it radiant with your hand, half a metre away, 30 centimetres away, it's definitely overheating and the thermometer will confirm that. Will be a massive temperature difference. Signs of overheating include blue coloured discs, which indicate extreme temperatures took place. You might also notice paint flaking on the caliper, or even a caliper that's a slightly different colour due to heat exposure. Another giveaway is excessive brake pad dust on one side of the wheel compared to the other, signalling that one brake is working overtime. Brake pad material, excessive amounts on one wheel is the biggest giveaway that you've got sticking brakes. If you spot any of them, it's time to inspect the caliper. It could be seized, definitely requiring freeing up, rebuilding or replacing in most cases. Cause number 4, warped brake discs because of cause number 3. How do we measure the run out on them? Well, warped discs, or rotors as you say in America, are often the first things people suspect when dealing with brake judder. Overheating, as we just discussed, can warp the surface of the disc, making it uneven every time the brake pads make contact with a worn disc. The uneven surface causes a vibration. That's a caliper, by the way, and those are the pads. How do you confirm the warping? That's where a DTI, dial test indicator tool comes extremely in handy, usually with a magnetic base. By measuring the run out, or the amount of wobble, in the brake disc, you can determine if it's out of specification. Small run out might be corrected by machining the disc, such as a mad on-card brake lathe we used to use in the old days, but severe warping usually involves a replacement. Cause number 5, not cleaning the hub or using grease between the hub and the disc. This is absolutely common mistake I see all the time. They've been to the garage, they come to us, and lo and behold, there's loads of copper grease on it. It's absolutely essential to clean the surface of a hub. Any rust, debris or dirt left on the hub can prevent the disc from sitting perfectly flat. Again, wobble, even a tiny imperfection can result in uneven rotation, leading to brake judder. Another critical mistake is applying too much grease, or even grease at all. You want a bit of very dry sort of spray, liquidy grease, just some anti-seize liquid, not any paste. It might seem like a good idea to prevent rust, but grease compresses under pressure and heat, creating uneven contact between the hub and disc. This uneven surface leads to the same issues as dirty hub, rotational wobble and judder. The solution: always clean the hub thoroughly before fitting a new disc. Use a wire brush or sandpaper to remove any rust, debris, anything like that, ensuring a perfectly clean and flat surface. And remember, no grease. If you're worried about rust, apply a very light coat of some anti-seize spray compound, but not huge amounts, and don't put a big brush on it with like loads of thick grease. You know, if you're lucky, and if you have a tool like the one I have, this as I'm showing you on the screen, it'll make the hub sparkle in about 10 seconds. That's what we use. Cause number 6, poor installation or maintenance. Finally, don't underestimate human error. Improperly installed brake pads, calipers that aren't aligned properly, or even contaminated brake fluid in extreme cases can all contribute to brake judder. For example, if the brake pads aren't seated properly, they can cause uneven wear. They can even vibrate under load, leading to that dreaded shake. If you've ever seen those cheap brake pads that are like plastered with way too much powder coating, and they've been hammered in because the mechanic couldn't be bothered to fit new pad seats or to clean the caliper carrier surface correctly, when they're hammered in like that, they're not going to slide and move, especially when they were, and they're going to, sometimes they'll be like sort of sideways on, they won't even be straight in that case. The long and short of it is, it's simple: only trust your own eye standards and never assume someone else has done the job properly unless you've seen it yourself, or unless you trust that person. Regular maintenance is your best defense against brake judder. It's as simple as that. Ensure everything's done correctly and make sure it's greased only where it needs to be greased. Use quality parts. Consider flushing your brake fluid every 2 years. That's a minimum standard in my book, ensuring your system performs as it should. So what's the bottom line? Fixing brake judder starts with identifying the root cause. Let's recap. Inspect bushes and ball joints for wear. Check for wheel bearing play and ABS sensor gaps. Make sure your gaps are okay and there's nothing wrong there. Look for signs of overheating, blue coloured discs, flaking caliper paint and excessive brake dust on one wheel compared to the others. Use a non-contact infrared thermometer just to actually measure the brake disc temperatures. Make sure you don't see any discrepancies, seeing huge differences on one wheel compared to the others, and that's a nice safe way to do it. Clean the hubs thoroughly before you fit new discs. No rust, no debris and absolutely no grease between the hub and the disc. Measure the brake disc run out to detect warping. Verify all your brake components are installed correctly and maintained properly. Addressing these issues not only solves brake judder, but it also restores the confidence in your braking system and in your own car, so you don't have to be stressed when you're driving. Brake judder can be frustrating, but it ain't impossible to fix. It's not an unsolvable mystery. With the right knowledge and the right tools, you can diagnose this yourself and get back on the road to a nice, smooth, safe driving vehicle before you know it. If you've ever had brake judder, share your story in the comments below, please, and drop us a like and drop us a subscribe and maybe a share. It does help with the algorithm, and I really need a lot of help right now. If you've had it, what caused it? How did you fix it? Please comment on it and let me know how you fixed it yourself. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.